Hello everybody, I'm idatheone and welcome to today's speed build where I'm testing out the new GRANGE Mudroom Kit. I was really excited for this one, and the first thing I thought of when I heard of a mudroom kit was these beach properties where you have a mudroom to make sure you don't drag any sand into the house, which is why today I'm building this Hamptons inspired house in Brindleston Bay. This also happens to be a limited pack build. I'm only using cats and dogs as well as the new mudroom kit, which was a fun challenge because I wanted to just see how you could use this kit in different ways, not just a mudroom. Of course, the first thing I do add into this house is a mudroom, but it was fun testing out how you could use it in different types of rooms and in other alternative ways that maybe wasn't thought of when they first made this kit. Because one of the most important things for me in packs and kits, especially because you get so few items from them, is transferability. Like, how can I use this in different ways, and is there enough for me to use this pack in a way that maybe wasn't intended in the beginning? Because if you have like just the few items to make a mudroom, I'm not adding mudrooms to every single house, so I want to be able to use these items in different ways as well. So that's what I'm testing out today with this build. And I will say, from making this build, I do really like the kit. I think it's quite good. I do have a couple of issues with it, but overall it really meets my expectations. And they're high, especially for like CC creators whenever they make kits, because you know they are good at what they do. So usually they are worth it, and I really think this one is worth it too. I think I'm gonna continue to use it in many different ways. And my favorite item for this kit, it's so small, but I really like the vase that comes with it with hydrangeas in it. It's so pretty, as well as the wallpaper. The wallpaper is so good. I'm gonna use it all the time. I'm warning you. And you will see me use it in this build. I put it in almost every single room with the exception of like one of them, because it goes really well actually with the cats and dogs wallpaper that also has these like very high wood panels, but you'll see that in a second. But it was really fun just to test out how to use it in all sorts of different rooms, from bathrooms and bedrooms to the living room and kitchen, not just the mudroom itself, but we'll get into that quite soon. Here I'm just doing the layout, and I'm gonna skip here as you can see because I struggled a lot with it. But I put the mudroom right in front of the main entrance, so you can come from the porch through a back entrance directly into the mudroom, or you can go through the main entrance and then leave your coats and shoes in the mudroom. And right here you can see me pick out the wallpaper, so I just put up my favorite swatches of it on the wall and then picked a bunch of different colors for every single room because I wanted to use all of them. I couldn't, but I did use most of them for this build. And the colors it comes in are so pretty. I really can't pick a favorite. Maybe it's one of the pink ones, but there's also like a really neutral white that just adds some like good texture. I really like the pattern on the wallpaper part of it. They're just so pretty. Here you can see I'm using that cats and dog wallpaper for just one of the rooms. But yeah, I'm definitely intending on using this a lot in future builds. I did struggle a bit with finding matching wood tones to it. You can see especially in here right now, I'm working on that staircase and I really didn't know which one to pick. Maybe I should have gone with a white one instead, because this wood that's on the pink paneling, it has like a pinkish undertone that you can't really find in any of the base game wood swatches. I don't even think it's in a pack. So I struggle a bit with that. Also throughout this build, I'm like, please, I missed this item from this pack, because I rarely do limited pack builds, but I'm gonna do it more often, I think, because it's good to limit the amount of packs you use to make it more accessible for people. Now, moving on to this like shelf cabinet thing, I am not really a big fan of the way the items slot into it, because you can only put large items on the bottom or the top shelf, not the middle one. You can only use small items for that one, which I think is a bit weird. So you'll continue to see me throughout this build struggle with placing items on that like shelf unit thing. I'll put one in the living room as well, and after that I gave up. I was like, I'm not going to use this item again, because it's a big commitment if you want to really fill it out and use a bunch of clutter like I usually do, because they keep like slotting to the shelf that you don't want them to go on. It's a bit fiddly, but it worked out in the end. Another thing you might have noticed is that I put a laundry basket in the mudroom because oftentimes people actually have their laundry room within the mudroom itself. And I think that's smart because you can just dump all your dirty clothes and get it washed right away, just not putting it in the house anywhere. So I put the laundry basket in there. If I had laundry day on, I would definitely have made it into a laundry room as well. But it's limited pack builds, but that's just a suggestion for another way you can use the mudroom or the kit itself. Just add to your laundry room. It also has this like laundry basket and the shoe clutter items as well as the bag. I think they really fit into that type of room. But moving on to the kitchen, here I actually used the cabinets from the build. You can't really select them as normal kitchen cabinets. They only have like one style, but I used them in here and I think it really fits if you just have one flat wall to put them on. I initially also had like the closet on the side to use as like a storage cabinet. But because the fridges in base game don't fit like an entire tile, I thought it looked a bit weird and deleted it. But had I had some of the other packs where the fridge just spans out an entire tile and doesn't have that weird gap on the sides, I probably would have used it in there as well. Now you see me closing off the kitchen. I thought this room was a bit weird, like weirdly shaped, so I decided to close out the kitchen, just put a rounded arch in there. And then I changed the wallpaper in the kitchen to be the white swatch of it, because I hadn't used that in it. And I thought, just add another swatch in there. I want to see all the different ways you can use it. And the dining room, I don't really use anything from the pack other than the wallpaper and the vase with hydrangeas in it. Yeah, I think that's it. Now I'm just adding those lamps outside. Here I'm going back into the kitchen and adding some more clutter. I like always find weird clutter randomly and I'm like, oh, I could use this for this room. So you see me go back and forth a bit. I also add this cat statue in there because I think these people would have a cat since I'm using cats and dogs. I was like, might as well just add some cat stuff. So there's food for them. I'll also add the vacuum into the mudroom, which I thought was really fun. You'll see me do that in a bit. But moving on to the living room, the way I use it in here is like I make a bookshelf out of the cabinets with the weird slots. You'll see me add them here. And you can see me struggle to fill it out. I wanted to add a bunch of books on it to make it more bookshelfy instead of just like a storage cabinet. I also add some lamps, some pet food, and other stuff on there. And if you're wondering how I'm doing this, I have move objects enabled as a command you can type in, and then I place stuff on the shelf to get it the right height and just move it in under it. Sometimes you'll see me, as I'm doing here, just use the cabinet to put stuff on it and then scoot it over, because if it doesn't slot to the exact height you want, you can just use another item with like a big slot for things to put on and then just scoot it over. Another thing, this is like a cats and dogs tip. If you have that like window corner couch thing and it doesn't really fit in there, you can actually add shelves in the back of it to fill out that gap. And it looks completely normal. I also added some pillows on top of it to just make it more cohesive and comfy. But I actually really love how this living room turned out. I really like the color palette. A lot of like the swatches in this kit are really nice and go really well together with the cats and dogs items. So it's super cute. I'm imagining like a couple in their 50s or 60s. They come here during the summer in their little Hamptons beach house and spend it here. Because the placement of this lot is so nice. Like, you're right on the beach. It's kind of small, or I'm remembering it as being really small, but honestly, you could fit a pretty nice house in here. Probably not with the largest garden on there, but you do have a really great view and basically just your private beach in front of you, where there are a bunch of stray cats and dogs that you can adopt. Moving on to the upstairs, I turned this into like a mini office and walkthrough space because it's kind of like an awkward shape of a room, but I thought this would be a really nice placement for a desk. You can just look out on the beach view. I added the bench from the kit in here as well as those shelves. I use it as kind of like a table in there. So again, different ways of how to use the kit. This is a room where I put the cats and dogs wallpaper in there with the wood paneling. Don't you think it goes pretty well with the wallpaper from the kit? I think it works nicely. Again, I'm using the wallpaper in the bathroom. It might be a bit weird. I do have experience being in a house where they have like wallpaper and wood paneling in the bathroom. I don't know how sustainable that is, or like if you'll ever have damage to the paneling. Maybe not. I don't know. I also used that coat rag quickly for like as a towel or bathrobe hanger. I thought that was a fun idea. I just put a bathrobe on top of it. Anyway, we're in the bedroom right now. I add this cat tree in those weird corners. And for the kit, I mainly use like the storage objects for like clothes and a big closet here on the right side. You'll see that in a second. And really, I think that's most of the ways you can use this kit. There are probably some more creative ways you can do it too, but this is how I imagine I'm gonna use it in the future. And I do really like the style of this kit. It's not too modern, not too traditional. It's kind of like an in-between, and it has like a lot of details in it. I think it's really good, and I can use it pretty often in builds. And please use code PEACEMAKER in the EA app if you decide to buy this kit, because these creators who they commission to make these packs, I'm sure they're not getting paid enough, but if you do add the code, they'll get a bit of the money instead of EA getting all of it, and you can help support them. I think that's really important, just to show your love for these creators who do so much work for The Sims. And like every time they bring in a CC creator or content creator to make kits, they're just so good. Like the Essential Glam kit that just came out that Cryptic Sim made. So gorgeous. I'm gonna use it in the next episode of the Very Veggie Legacy Challenge. I'm gonna give my sim a makeover, and we'll definitely use some of the makeup from that kit. But that's about the end of the speed build. I think we'll hop over into the game now, and I'll give you guys a quick little tour and explain how I used all the items. Alright, so we're back in the game now, and this is what the house looks like. You can see it's right next to the beach, and there's really nice mountains in the background. You have super nice view. There's an island out there with a lighthouse. We have the big porch back here, and the front of the house looks like this. Let's go inside. So if we go through the main entrance here, we have this little porch, the cat mat, and here's the main entrance. So you're met with the kitchen dining area over here, as well as the living room on your right. But if you enter through this door, we have the mudroom. Here you can see that vacuum I added. We have the pictures. You can take your shoes off and hang your coats in the closet here. This is that shelf I was talking about. This level of the shelf is where you can only slot small items. But I still think this is really cute. There's that laundry basket. Out here is the porch. You have a really nice place to sit, and you can look at the view. I also added the bench from the pack out here because I thought that would be nice. I think I'll use this one a lot because it has those like decorative pillows on it. I like that they've been adding that to items more recently because it just looks more realistic. We have the lamp from the pack above the store too. If we enter back through the mudroom, we can go in here again. We have the dining room, nothing big in here. And this is what the kitchen looks like with the cabinets from the kit. And you have some really nice views while you're doing the dishes or cooking. Like this is so nice. Imagine living here. And here's that beautiful wallpaper. I love the pattern on this. It's really nice. This is the white swatch of it. We have a mirror over here and some decorative items. My thought was that they don't want a lot of clutter out here because they're hiding it all in the mudroom. So it's just very simple. In here is the living room. There's no TV, but you can play chess or sit over here in this book nook and read your books. There's also a little place for the cat to lay down. And yeah, these packs just go really well together, I think. Let's go upstairs. Up here is where you can find the office. Again, very nice views from this desk. I was imagining, I know this is like kids' toys, but it could be for the cat instead. Some more decorative stuff. I don't know why the roof is clipping through here. Just ignore it. We have the bench again. A little cute basket next to it. I really like this rug from Cats and Dogs. And in here is the bathroom. Here's that like coat rack that I used for the bathrobe. I thought that was a fun idea. Yeah, that's just a small bathroom. Also used the basket in there. If we go through here, there's another toilet, just a small one. And at last we have the bedroom. It's very blue, but I think it was fun to make. At the closet over here, another like place for storage, and we have the bed, as well as the little cat corner over there. And if we take a look at the floor plan really quickly, this is the upstairs from the top, and then we have the downstairs right here. If you're interested in this build, you can find it on the gallery. You can just look up idatheone, it's my profile. And then it's listed with the same name, Bedlington Boathouse, as the lot is named originally. And this is the date it was posted on if you have to scroll down. You can see only cats and dogs as well as the Grange Mudroom Kit. But that's it for today. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun seeing how to use this kit in different ways and building this Hamptons inspired house. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed the video and haven't already. And I'll see you next time. Bye!